One of my one-to-one clients recently used a free audit strategy to sign 3 brand new one-to-one coaching clients inside of her offer in just 45 days. And today I'm going to be walking you through what this strategy was and how you can implement this in your business. Free audits are such a damn good strategy. I absolutely love them. But so many people do them wrong and don't end up getting clients from this. We just end up spending a lot of time on calls doing audits with people. And today I'm going to be showing you how to actually set up this free audit strategy and also how to do this really effectively. What were the specific components that we used with this client to make this so successful, where she was able to book just 5 free audits with people. She was really select with these and, not wanting to spend just so much of her time on her calendar on audits constantly with people who weren't a good fit. She had 5 audits, and from this, she converted 3 brand new one-to-one clients, leading to her biggest cash month ever in business. Now, free audits are perfect for adding into your business to create a really intentional sales pathway. This is perfect for the service provider who you don't really necessarily have a sales pathway into your high ticket program right now, other than just throwing out the call to action of apply for one-to-one coaching with you. And this can lead to huge guesswork, right? On when am I going to sign a client? Am I going to get a new sale this month? We have no idea, but we're keeping all the fingers crossed. And we don't really want to be operating our business like this. We want to be able to see consistently, when am I getting clients in? When am I getting new leads in as well? And introducing something like a free audit is such a powerful way to bring new leads, really qualified as well, into your business and actually be making really consistent sales from these as well, because you can pull this lever anytime you're wanting to if you know how to do a free audit well. And that's what I'm going to be showing you today. There were 3 specific things we did with these audits that made them just chef's kiss, work so beautifully and actually convert into sales really simply as well. Again, she only actually did 5 free audits with people, and 3 out of those 5 people ended up signing up for her one-to-one program that she was wanting to sell. This was the only sales pathway she needed to fill all of those 3 open spots. So I'm going to be sharing with you those 3 things right now of what are the 3 aspects which you really need to be thinking about when it comes to free audits. So the first thing we did with these audits, and I would highly recommend because this worked so beautifully, is we made these invitation only. We didn't just send out a link to her calendar and say to everyone, hey, go book a call, because this client is really conscious about how much time she's spending on her business. She has a very full life and she's wanting to spend a lot of time on it. So she wasn't wanting to fill her calendar with 20 unnecessary calls, only to hopefully fill, 3 spaces inside the program. So she actually opened up just 5 spaces for these free calls, and she invited people to essentially apply for these calls. They were essentially filling out a form, letting her know that they would be interested in these calls, and she was able to really handpick then who she actually put on her calendar. This is huge because it meant that she was only getting on calls with qualified leads for her one-to-one. These weren't random people who we already knew, from minute 1 of the call were not going to actually be interested in one-to-one ever, but these were people who she'd intentionally picked out. And this works so well because this is the first mistake I often see with free audits, is we'll invite everyone and anyone, and the goal is kind of how many calls can I possibly squeeze onto my calendar without wanting to set it on fire. And essentially we'll end up with, I have 20 calls on my calendar, which is amazing, but none of them converted because they weren't actually qualified in the first place, because those people who were scheduling the calls on the calendar heard the word free and ran, and they were super excited by that. These are not the people we want to be scheduling calls with. We want to be scheduling calls with people who are actually qualified for your program, people who are actually the ideal client, actually potentially interested in working with you, and actually really looking to make this shift. And when you make this shift for yourself in terms of, okay, the goal isn't to fit 20 calls on my calendar and how many people can I possibly reach and to get these free audits booked in, when the goal is actually instead, I want a really select type of person to be applying for these audits, then we can get really specific with the messaging, which is amazing. And I want you to do that as well. This is another component which led to her getting these right fit applications, is she was really clear on this messaging. She knew exactly who she wanted as an ideal client for this program. And she spoke to that person when she was promoting the audits. She wasn't just saying, hey, who wants an audit with me? She was specifically saying, this is exactly what we're going to do in the audit. This is exactly who it is for. And that's what I want you to be really specifically doing as well. So when we're actually promoting these audits, number 1, we're going to have an application form. People can apply. They don't just randomly book a call on your calendar. Then we'll send them a link to book the call if they are feeling like a good fit from that form. But then past that, we're actually looking at, okay, the messaging of when we're talking about these audits is not going to be general. We're not aiming to cast a wide net. We're not aiming to get every single person in our audience applying. We're aiming to get the perfect fit people for this, so we can be really specific with the messaging. We can be really specific. We want to turn some people off. We want some people to say that is absolutely not for me. We want to really reach the right person. And for the right person, if we can do that heck yes messaging that is going to be absolutely speaking to the problem they're having right now, absolutely speaking to where they know they they need to shift, then this becomes suddenly a really easy yes for them to actually book this free audit. So that is the strategy shift you really want to make when it comes to booking in the audits, when it comes to getting the people on your calendar. The second piece is, okay, once they're actually on the call with you, we want to make sure we are giving them hyper-specific depth and tangible value towards one problem. We don't want this audit to be I'm going to give you an overview of every single thing you need to work on right now. We want it to be really specific to the one thing we're wanting to shift with them, the overall ROI that they're getting from working with you. And we also want it to kind of match up a bit with your process of how you work with people as well. So her goal with these audits was to actually take the clients through one specific shift that they know they need to make and essentially leave them with one clear action item to work on. So they would walk away with not here's my laundry load of 10 things and then have that objection, which we'll often see from free audits of, hey, I need to go away and work on these things first before I can actually hire you because I have this really huge list to work on now. But actually instead they had one really tangible shift that they could go away and instantly implement, instantly see a difference from within days of working with her inside of that audit. And again, this is where the forms also come into play because she was able to really look at the forms that they'd submitted and see, okay, what is this one area I'm really wanting to coach them on right now that would be really powerful for them? And essentially she pulled her 3-part process from her one-to-one program, which was going to be the upsell after this. And she pulled this and she really focused on with them, okay, what is the one aspect of these 3 parts which would be most powerful for them right now? Alongside that, on this call, she was sharing that 3-part process with them. She showed them how this played into the bigger picture of how these all influence each other, how these are all playing together, and why we actually need to work on all 3 of them. But she really dialed in on the audit on one specific area and again gave them that one simple action step. Now, 2 things here you really want to take away from this. Number 1 is we want to present them that process of how does this extend past this audit essentially, because free audits, they can sometimes feel like just a dead end because they don't almost show us the potential and show the ideal client the potential of what that work will look like past this audit. But actually her being able to go through, this is my 3-part process. These are the 3 areas I work on with clients. This is the one I can see from your form that you're most struggling with right now. We're going to deep dive into that on the audit, but here's how that plays into the other 2 as well. It shows them straight away that the work is more than just this audit. It shows us that this 15-minute audit together, we're not going to cover everything, absolutely. And these other parts are really important for you, but I want to give you the most value right now for you. And this sets people up so perfectly for joining your offer because they can clearly see straight away how the offer connects to their problem. They've come in with this specific problem and they've been shown by you, how does this one problem I have right now connect to this bigger 3-month, 6-month program, which she's suggesting, because the process has been laid clear for them. They can really see how this all fits together to make the wider ROI and transformation that they're wanting to achieve with you. And then the second thing this does really well, which I really want you to implement inside of your free audits, is actually giving them one takeaway. It is so easy to think I need to offer them massive value and they need to walk away with a laundry load of 20 million things to do. This is not helpful for them at all. And we know that because firstly, they're going to get really overwhelmed because they don't have the support to implement this. They're going to stare at this list and go, oh my gosh, where do I even start with this? This feels like so much stuff to be doing and so many changes to be making. So they're probably not going to actually get the results. But secondly, it kind of sets you up for failure with that upsell, because if we know we want to lead them towards one-to-one coaching, for example, the 6-month program after this, but we've given them 20 different things to do, we're kind of creating that natural friction with, of course, they're potentially not going to re-sign with you and actually want to continue because they have so much stuff to do already. Like they need to go away and do these things before we start, looking at this overall process and before we start working on these other areas together. Versus if you give them one simple thing that they can go away, they can see results in the next few days. It's really easy for them to implement that. And also it means they can see 2 days later, wow, I implemented that yesterday and actually I'm already seeing some big shifts. This already feels better. Imagine what the 6-month program would look like. They're able to really see that, okay, we've ticked off the audit. I've done everything from there. Now the next step is that 6-month program. And then the third piece we really want to do here, and which I did with this client, which worked so well for actually getting these clients, is actually the personalized offer to these clients into that upsell. This is, again, a part so many people miss. We kind of just say, hey, would you want to join my program? And kind of just whisper it awkwardly in the corner. But actually, the best part about this, if you follow this process we've talked about so far, you've got a form from this person showing exactly where they're at right now, what they're wanting to work on, what their problem is, what they're needing to shift, their goals, all of those things. We've also got the call notes from when you've had the call with them. We know a lot about this person. We've been able to really go in deep with that one area. You're able to give them a personalized pitch after this about why would this program be a really good fit for them. You're able to really pitch this in a way that doesn't feel generic. It's not just saying inside one-to-one, we will do this. You're able to say to them, we will specifically work on this goal for you because I know you're wanting to get to this place. You're really struggling with this right now. And here's how we would work through that inside of one-to-one together. And the best part with this is when you follow all of these pieces together, it's a really easy yes for the client because we've pre-qualified them. We only took people for the audits who were actually ideal clients, who were really a good fit for working with us. We've given them that value. They've got that simple shift already because they've had something easy they can go away with and implement over the next few days. Tick. Then we're getting to the offer and we're pitching them something that is really personalized, and we're able to really share with them what it would look like for them specifically. And we know for a fact that it is going to be in sync with their goals. We're not guessing what they want. We're not guessing what their problems are. We're not guessing the shifts they want to create and what they want to focus on over the next 6 months. We literally know because we've had these conversations with them already. So when you get to do that pitch, you know it's going to be in sync with what they're actually wanting right now. So it makes it a really easy yes for them continuing working with you. So what you want to do here is utilize the heck out of that form that they filled in, out of your call notes, out of any feedback they gave you after the call, and send this pitch in a really, really personalized way. I want you to make this so ridiculously personalized to them. Genuinely take 15 minutes, make some notes on what you're wanting to send to them, what you're wanting to share with them, what their goals are, all of those things, and pull something together which feels like a really easy yes from them. And that is the free audit strategy that my client utilized to go from really kind of struggling to get clients inside of her program to actually booking 3 brand new one-to-one clients in just 45 days with a free audits pathway. And this is the power of really building out custom sales pathways as well. This is something I do with all of my one-to-one clients all the time, is we really build out custom sales pathways for them. We're not just putting in something generic and hoping it works. We're really looking at, as you can see, every single step with intention. So it makes it really easy to lead people into your spaces and get people inside of your programs because we've curated every single stage of this sales pathway to move people through this into your offer. And when you can build out multiple of these sales pathways, it makes it really easy for you to have really consistent income in your business, really sustainable income and results essentially, because we have multiple sales pathways that we know we can pull those levers any single time we're wanting some more clients. If this client decides she wants brand new clients in a few months, for example, she can decide, great, I'm going to do some more free audits and literally rinse and repeat this strategy, which we already know works for her and which was so strategically planned for her. And again, this is what I do with all of my clients inside of one-to-one coaching. We really build out strategic sales pathways, which actually get you consistent clients in because there are multiple ways people can come into your space. And we're really planning every single step. How are we actually moving people to make it ridiculously simple and help you just to get more out of your time that you're already putting into sales and marketing in your business. So I'd love to invite you to apply for one-to-one coaching. I have a few spaces open right now and I would love to see your name on the application list. So go to the link in the description and the application form is there. You'll also see the link to my client testimonials so you can read a bit more about my client experiences working with me, what my clients have achieved, what it's like to work with me inside of my one-to-one program. But I would love for you to apply. I would love to build out some custom sales pathways for you and really support you in just simply scaling your business to build a truly lifestyle first business that pays you ridiculously well as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to read your application form very soon and I'll see you in the next one.